In a world so obsessed with violence, and at a time when drug and alcohol abuse, sexual promiscuity, and negative peer pressure are on the rise, how many more Columbine, brutal stabbings, burned bodies, kidnapping, sexual abuse, fatal shootings, incidents of domesticated violence must we experience before we are enraged to react? Have we seen too much? Is tragedy now such a common occurrence in our everyday lives that we are desensitized to the needs and the cries of a generation in peril? We are losing our youth by the millions to a deteriorating society that is rapidly diminishing in character and compassion for life.
The Night Fighters.
We call ourselves the Night Fighters because we teach young people how to fight those things in the darkness.
Everywhere we've gone, we've always inspired people other than just kids. A lot of times adults will come to us and tell us, they needed to hear what we said that day.
Good morning and welcome to Interact Atlanta. Joel Bell isn't a teacher. His curriculum can't be found in a textbook. But for the thousands of kids who hear his powerful message each year, it's a lesson they won't forget.
Good morning. My name is Joel Bell. I'm the creator and founder of the Night Fighters. This is my partner, Mallory Cantrell. For the last 7 years, we go across the state of Georgia trying to teach young people how to find a hero inside of themselves. We're not here to entertain you. We're here to change your life.
Joel lost 2 brothers to violence, and since then his mission has been to try to make sure that families don't have to go through what his family went through by losing kids.
And let me tell you, young people, I have been to so many funerals and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of looking at young people in caskets that should be out running around enjoying themselves, but they made a choice. And you got a choice today. We've seen over 156,000 kids. And most kids tell me they don't feel a part of anything. They don't feel like they belong. And I think that our society has let them down in that respect. And that's what we're trying to do through the Night Fighter program, let every kid knows that he's important, that he has the ability to change his life and make it meaningful.
You will see a lot of emotion, a lot of compassion. Most of all, you see love, though, because we're trying to touch some hearts. This next skit we're gonna do is called Choices, and it's about a kid that made a lot of wrong choices. And now he has to pay. This is Choices. Sit back and see if you're anything like this guy.
He's giving me 10 minutes to tell you about my life. See, I'm glad you can laugh. But see, if I was free on the street, you wouldn't laugh. You wonder why you can't walk down the street at night, enjoy your neighborhood, because it's fools like me waiting on you to make a mistake. But I realize something now that I'm locked down. All those things that people told me, it came back on me. See, I don't have my freedom no more. They put me in check.
Bell is determined to change the way teenagers treat themselves and each other.
One day my homeboys, the guys that said they love me, the guys that say they care for me, the guys that gave me dope, the guys I broke in people's homes with, they came by one Saturday and said, come on, man, you're gonna hang out with us today, because today you're gonna get a chance to be a real man. My buddy up in the front seat turned around and put his finger right in my face. He said, today you're gonna kill something. You're gonna kill somebody. If somebody walking around in a few minutes, they're gonna be dead. We were driving, the little boy was getting ready to cross the street. It's almost like I could look in his eyes. So the little boy came up to the car, he said, yes, sir. Can you believe that? He said, yes, sir. So I pointed that gun in that little boy's face, and he started screaming. He said, I ain't done nothing. I haven't done anything. And I just stared in his eyes, and I wanted to tell him to run, but I couldn't say nothing. So my buddy said, shoot him. The little boy threw his bicycle down and started running, and I didn't have the guts to look at him. I just closed my eyes and pulled the trigger. Bam, bam, bam. And I just kept pulling that trigger. It felt like the gun was burning my hand. Then when I opened my eyes, that little boy had fell on the ground. Man, I'm so sorry for what I did. This little small, skinny lady ran out. She broke through the crowd and she looked down and she said, oh God, it's my baby. What happened to my baby? He said, Mama, my back hurt. My side, Mama. I feel like I'm cut, Mama. Then I thought about how senseless my life was. How many people I hurt I didn't have to hurt. It's too late for me, but you got a chance. Don't end up like me. Don't be no animal. Mama, I'm sorry. Mama, I'm sorry. Mama, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We've chosen a path that enlightens people and touches people's lives in a positive way. And there's nothing really greater you can do in your life than being able to touch someone else's life to lead them down a better road.
Joel and Mallory's performance had such an impact at Pickens County Middle School that students there chartered the first Night Fighters chapter. This year, more than 90 students will enroll in the program, which teaches conflict resolution and builds self-esteem.
This is the best opportunity I've seen in 25 years to actually give kids something to build on and something to believe in. And that thing that this program gives them is themselves.
We can get involved in this and we can actually make a difference, not only in what people see, but what you believe.
It moved people. It moved a lot of people. I saw people with tears in their eyes. His stories seemed so real, and they touched me in a way, and I wanted to help people too.
We were honored to be a part of the Georgia State University program, the Inner City Games. The president, Arnold Schwarzenegger, on one of his rare visits to the city of Atlanta, wanted to see the Night Fighters and what we had to offer the kids. We had a great time. The kids responded to us and we responded to them. And I think Mr. Schwarzenegger was proud of what he saw. It was a great experience, and we look for greater experiences working with the Inner City Games and other organizations in our efforts to reach kids.
NFL, that was an experience. The Field Generals had a group of quarterbacks, past and present. They came down to hold a program for kids. It was a mentoring program. We were asked to be a part of that program, to do a program for the kids that were involved. And the parents were also there. We did a couple of performances as well as spoke with a lot of the kids afterwards, and it was very enjoyable. We got a chance to meet a lot of people. And I think the kids responded very well to the programs we did.
Please welcome your host, Dan Patrick, and the President and Chief Operating Officer of Delta Airlines, Fred Reed.
Fred and I are here to present the Delta Volunteer of the Year Award.
This award is presented to only one of our 60,000 Delta employees throughout the world who, through unselfish service, have made a real difference in the lives of children.
And I know it sounds corny. We hear it, it sounds trite, even though the commitment to work is important. When that commitment extends beyond work and it goes to the betterment of others, the world truly is a better place.
And that is exactly what happened in Delta's home state of Georgia, when one of our Atlanta-based employees of 24 years seniority, Mr. Joel Bell, began volunteering his free time working with hardened criminals in a prison ministry in 1992. He found it not just rewarding, but life-changing. One day, a young inmate serving 2 consecutive life sentences told Joel that he had not only become his hero, but, and I quote, "If I had only known you earlier in my life, I probably would not be here today," end of quote. It was at that moment that Joel realized his mission of helping as many young people as possible before they got into trouble.
And the Night Fighters of America organization was born after that. Joel's social organization was created to work within school settings from elementary through high school, using everything from drama and poetry and humor, even karate. The Night Fighters was present through these thought-provoking skits that they would put on in high school. It depicted real-life situations facing our children today, and its purpose is clear, and that's to help eliminate violence and drugs and raise self-esteem and respect for one another.
The Night Fighters' motto is, "You no longer have to be afraid of the dark. Now you have a friend in the shadows." Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming a man who has shed light on many a dark night to over 300,000 children in the state of Georgia, this year's Delta Volunteer of the Year, the president of the Night Fighters of America, Joel Bell.
Thank you, Mr. Reed, and thank you, Mr. Patrick, for this honor. It is a great honor for me to be here tonight. This is truly a miracle for me because what I do from my heart. And I'm so honored to be here with my wife and my daughter. And it means so much to me. It means so much to my whole family. I'm honored to share a little bit about the Night Fighters vision. 10 years ago, I started working in the prison ministry. And it really shocked me to go into a prison and see young kids, 15 years old, that had committed so horrible crimes of murder and rape. And it devastated me, and it changed my whole life, my whole concept of the way I looked at people. But during that period of time, a great tragedy fell upon me and my family. And see, I'm from a close-knit family, 7 boys. My dad tried his best to have a young girl, but he just couldn't do it. And after 7 boys, my mom said that was it. No girls in our agenda. But my mom, my dad, Mary and Tillman Bell, they brought us up to love one another. And my brothers and I were close-knit. It was once said if you hit one with a rock, all of us would holler because we were that close. But tragedy separated us. I got a phone call one day after work from Delta Airlines that my brother had been shot. And I couldn't understand that because I couldn't understand why someone would shoot my brother. I gathered my wife, and by the time that I got to the hospital, my parents met me at the door, and I could look at my mother's and father's face, and I knew my brother was gone. Before we could get over that devastation, another tragedy hit. My baby brother became so despondent over the loss of my brother. A year later, he committed suicide and took his own life. At that point in my life, I went into a tailspin. Trying to help young kids in prison, I could not understand why such a tragedy could fall on my family. And I'll never forget, one day I was at home alone by myself, and I started crying so profusely. And I'm not a person that is easy to cry. I was involved in martial arts, and I got caught up in the strong thing. I'm a man, but the emotions overtook me to think of losing 2 of my brothers. And I cried so profusely that it felt like my chest was going to explode. But then I realized, I just cried out, "Lord, help me. Help me to understand and make sense of my life." And he answered my prayer because he gave me the vision of the Night Fighters. And it's a simple vision. It's a vision of teaching young people how to care for one another. No matter what color you are, that we have a responsibility as human beings to love one another and share ourselves with one another. And I've been honored to take that message to over 300,000 kids. And I can remember one particular performance we had where a young lady handed me a note, wrote me a note after the performance. And she said, you look like you looked in my face, and I felt like you was talking to me when you were performing. A week or so ago, I was thinking about taking my life, and this week it was really bad. And I think I was on the verge of doing it. But you said something that touched my heart. When I saw you cry, I felt like you were crying for me. And now I feel like I have too much to live for to take my life. I cannot bring my brothers back. But when I touch, or the Lord give me a chance to motivate somebody else to live, my brothers are right by my side. And I'd just like to thank my darling wife of 24 years, Doris Bell, for standing with me. She has graciously shared me for the last 10 years with young people. She knows when I come in from working at Delta Airlines, I have to go out and work with the kids. And she always cheers me on. And I'd like to thank my daughter, Ashley, and my son, and all of my brothers, and my mother and father, and my mother-in-law for loving me enough to let me go. And I have a special thanks to my partner. He also worked for Delta Airlines, Mallory Cantrell, for his dedication. We've done so many shows, and he's never been late, and he always shows up. And I'd like to thank his wife, Valerie, as well. And thank you, Delta. And thank you, Delta Airlines, for giving me an opportunity to go out and touch young people's lives. My whole vision is to help young people step out of the darkness into the light from drugs, alcohol, sexual abuse, that all it takes is a heart. And I thank you for caring for me and my family enough to show me that you have a heart for what we try to do. Thank you.
Joel, it gives me great pride and pleasure to present you with the 2003 Miracle Maker Award.
You said, ask and you will receive whatever you need.
The Night Fighters of America are imperative and an invaluable resource for our communities. Support the Night Fighters in its effort to win the war of saving our children, one battle at a time.
You said, pray and I'll hear from heaven, and I'll heal your land.
Take a giant step and get involved. We've been asked by many schools to provide instructional material to assist in the implementation of the positive values that's represented by the Night Fighter program. We envision text, distant learning, and multimedia training aids. We need to increase our staff in order to enhance our national reach. We envision the Night Fighter program and its curriculum being implemented in educational systems across this nation. We believe that we can do this with our sponsors. We would like to provide scholarships and/or other academic enhancements for students who have made significant advancements in their lives and the lives of others. We need to increase the number of mobile educational units to coincide with increased staffing. We need a transport van to facilitate the children when we travel on field trips. Currently, the state of Georgia provides transport resources for us. We need additional resources to cover chapter expenses, giveaways, technological tools, and our endowment.
We've had a tremendous response from students, educators, community leaders, as well as corporations. And we're excited about the positive impact we're having on the lives of young people.
All you have to do is watch the news every night, and you can see the struggle that our young people are faced with. That's why we're asking for corporate support, so that we can reach more young people. Thank you for viewing this video, and we hope to hear from you soon.
traveling through another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind.
Design is intelligence made visible. Multimedia technology specialists. Intelligent web design and development. Custom system configuration and software design. Promotional and fundraising videos. Corporate and industrial training products. Television commercials and infomercials. Ride the visually on screen. At American Technologies, we will help you create a powerfully visual experience that will communicate your message clearly. We have produced quality products and provided outstanding service for many clients across the nation. Hewlett Packard, AT&T White House, the Congressional Black Caucus, Georgia Tech, the District of Columbia, the Department of Human Resources, the Pentagon, CNBL, West End Medical Center, the State of Georgia, Bellevue College, and many more.
Proceed.
Let American Technologies oversee your next marketing project. We'll simplify your life. Working with you, producing results that will exceed your expectations. Video captured footage of various events and activities taking place on location, providing the end viewer with an eyewitness account of your success. Breathtaking interviews of personal testimonies documented in video to gain further support. A professional script uniquely written for you in a wonderful story-like marketing form, detailing the essence of the organization in a heart-inspiring way. Yes. A musical score that complements each moment with a precise ambient tone, generating the necessary warmth to powerfully project the message. Digital photographs professionally capture virtually every natural smile, reinforcing the meaning, the task, and the experience of your organization. Digital editing of all captured material, video, sound, photographs will be professionally edited, engineered, and mixed by our own team of motion picture graphics and internet technology experts. The visual, the audio, and the technology to carry your company into the new millennium. American Technologies. Hardware, software, multimedia, media, networking, promotion, television, infomercials, videos, design, visible, intelligence, office, home. American Technologies is here for you. Yes.